The next thing we're going to do to this common rail here is start putting tappets into the block. Like I said earlier, the tappets have been resurfaced, so we're going to put this beautiful assembly lube on everything. The $1,000,000 question I get all the time: how do you prime a Cummins before you start it whenever it's a new rebuild? Well, on a Cummins, let me show you something. Hand me that oil pump over there, Joe. This is the whole purpose behind assembly lube. This is a synthetic assembly lube used on your camshaft, your tappets, lifters, anything that's going to be moving. This assembly lube right here will be a cushion for the first startup. This oil pump for this Cummins is gear driven. It sits right on front of the crankshaft. So you're going to have to turn the motor over anyhow to prime your oil pump. So the best way to do it, get you a good assembly lube for it and fire it up for the first time. You ain't got to worry about anything. Hear guys talking about it all the time on gas engines about priming the oil pump. Now, it's not necessary on a Cummins with a good assembly lube. There's no way to prime it. Turn that motor over. Oh, go back here. Yep. One other thing too, we have the bearings and pistons coated. So that right there is a dry film lubricant of its own. Once that oil gets on those bearings and the pistons that polydiene coated, that oil will not come off unless you sandblast it off. Okay, roll her over, Joe. Being that all these tappets have been reground, they do not have to go back in a particular order. Okay. Nice and slimy. Make sure you get your timing marks lined up. As you can see, there's a set of double zeros here, and there's 1 0 here. So you put the 1 0 in between the 2 zeros, and you got your camshaft timed. We're going to put our bolts in for the cam thrust plate. These bolts here are going to torque down to 18 foot-pounds. And I did put Loctite on these bolts because they are on the inside of the front gear cover. Yeah, torque wrench, Joe. Next thing we're going to do is get back up here to the bottom of the Cummins here. That excess gasket from the front cover, I'm going to take a razor blade and snip this clean right here. Are you sure you want to do that? Is everything in the motor?
Yeah.
Alright, let's go with it. You don't have to run them all the way down there, just kind of get them started. We'll take a speed wrench and run them puppies in there. Pan bolts, they're going to torque down to 21 foot-pounds. tilt pan drain plug torques at 37 foot-pounds. I'm going to let you get in place here first. Okay, we're going to take these studs back out. I'm going to put some lubricant on them. We have some ARP lubricant that we're going to be using on the head studs. As I go through these, you go ahead and run them down the hand there. And whatever you guys do, try not to get this on your hands because it's really hard to get off. Sorry about that, Joe. An accident, man.